County Board of Chosen Freeholders is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll?
Freeholder Bobadilla.
Present.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Here.
Freeholder Johnson, absent. Freeholder Jones.
Present.
Freeholder Luciano.
Here.
Freeholder Richardson.
Here.
Freeholder Sebo.
Here.
Freeholder Toro.
Present.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Here. Thank you. Please stand to salute our flag. And I'm going to ask if Freeholder Toro can please lead us in the salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. I have before me a certification from the clerk that this meeting is indeed in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Madam Clerk, are there any transcripts to be approved?
Madam President, there are two. Board meeting December the 9th, 2015, and conference board meeting December the 16th, 2016.
Okay.
2015.
Freeholders, do you have any questions or comments? Do I have a motion and a second to approve the transcripts? Moved by Freeholder Jones.
Second.
Second by Freeholder Toro. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson, absent. Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Sebo.
Yes.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Are there any topics of discussion?
Madam President, there are none.
Okay, Madam Clerk, then let's move to public comment session. For any members of public who are here tonight or at home watching on TV, tonight's meeting is a board meeting, which we will vote on every item on our agenda. So at this time, if there's any member of the public that would like to comment on agenda items only, please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Dave Tedesco, Roseland, New Jersey. Miracles happen. I'm here 2 weeks in a row. I always feel every once in a while you have to come, even though I don't have to do this, to support a resolution which is number 36 for Deborah Davis Ford. I remember when she took over from Andrea Davis, and since then I have to honestly say she's done a tremendous job, you know. But I always have to also really congratulate her staff. There's a terrific staff here, a wonderful staff, I know, because I ask them favors once in a while. So, you know, just, again, I just want to support her and her staff very much. And I just noticed another one that I'm just, resolution number 48, I also want to support that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tedesco. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak on agenda items only? Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any issue at all? Please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Hi. Roger Schwartz, New Jersey Communities United. I would like to talk about the entity known as Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo extracts wealth from our communities, destabilizing our neighborhoods. I urge the county officials to take them in consideration when asking them to be accountable according to the Bank Accountability Ordinance that passed last year. Wells Fargo should be held accountable for predatory behavior. It's not impossible to do. New Jersey Communities United worked with Paulette McQueen, who's here today and will talk more, an Irvington homeowner who fought Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo has vacated their interest in her loan. Sometimes they actually give up. Wells Fargo extracts wealth from residents and taxpayers through things like toxic swaps, supporting private detention centers, and especially foreclosures. Wells Fargo is one of the top foreclosing banks in the state of New Jersey, actively fights against homeowners struggling to stave off foreclosure. There's the ongoing case of Yolanda Andrews, which will also be talked about, a Newark resident who has fought off foreclosure for years while battling cancer. Wells Fargo has refused to negotiate with Yolanda and has even brushed off the intervention of Newark Mayor Baraka, referring to him as an unauthorized third party, the democratically elected mayor of the largest city in New Jersey. When it comes to pension benefits, Wells Fargo is the majority owner of the Rock Creek Group, the parent company of hedge fund R.C. Woodley Park. As of March 2015, the New Jersey State Investment Council, which is the body that manages state pension investments, has $750 million invested with R.C. Woodley Park, one of a number of hedge fund investments that have come under increased scrutiny for low returns on investments while charging high fees and bonuses from the State Investment Council. So stealing our taxpayers' money for things that are overly expensive and can't really be accounted for. And when it comes to predatory lending and undermining homeowner rights, according to a 2014 legal analysis by law firm Denbo & Dembo, Wells Fargo not only pushed predatory mortgages on low-income communities of color in the lead up to the housing bubble and subsequent economic crash, but they used their power and influence to manipulate settlements with the states and the federal government that ultimately stripped New Jersey homeowners of their rights. I also organized bank workers, including a number of people who have worked for Wells Fargo as frontline workers. I'm talking about bank tellers and personal bankers, and they have reported to me that the management of Wells Fargo pushes and coerces them to sell products that they think are toxic and harmful to their customer base as a part of their regular business, causing them undue stress. And 1/3 of Wells Fargo's frontline employees have to take some kind of public assistance because they earn so little and have so few benefits. So you have to consider this entity that you're dealing with, and I urge you to use all the powers that you have to hold them accountable in every way and to continue doing what you're doing and consider moving even further.
Are there any other members of the public?
Hello, my name is Paula McQueen, and I live in Garwood Place.
One moment, please. We're going to adjust the microphone.
Oh,
They're transcribing and cannot hear.
is that better?
That's good.
Speak directly into the microphone.
State your name.
Can you
State
hear
your
me
name.
now?
Yes, and state your name and affiliation again.
Okay, good. Well, my name is Paula McQueen, and I live at 9 Garwood Place in Irvington, New Jersey. And I'm here tonight to encourage you to hold Wells Fargo accountable to the reporting requirements that the Essex County Board of Freeholders implemented. It is important that Wells Fargo be held accountable, if only because they have hurt so many homeowners in Essex County with their predatory lending and aggressive foreclosure practices. I know firsthand because I waged a fight against them to save my own home. I fought for my home because it is not only where I live, but it's where I work. I am a professional in-home child care provider, and if I were to lose my home, I would not have a place to sleep, eat, but I would also lost my ability to do my job and earn an income, so I fought back and I won. I fought because Wells Fargo sold me a predatory loan. And when I couldn't keep up with the unfair mortgage terms, they pushed me into the foreclosure process, gave me the runaround, but I wasn't quiet. I turned to my elected leaders in Irvington for support, and they started with me. I turned to my neighbors, and they started with me. They stand with me. I turned to my union, CWA Local 1037, and they stand with me. I shared my story with the media. I launched an online petition. I called an action and even led a rally at my local Wells Fargo branch. I won, and if I can win a fight against one of the biggest financial institutions in the world, then certainly Essex County can do the same. Just as my community of supporters stand for me, I will stand with you. Wells Fargo may think it can willfully ignore the people of Essex County, but they are wrong. If we fight, we win.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Please come forward and state your name and affiliation, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak, monitored by the clock to my right.
Good evening. My name is Madan Sav, a member of New Jersey Communities United. I'm here to speak about my friend Yolanda Andrews. She's fighting for cancer, and Wells Fargo is trying to take her arm away from her. She took her story to Washington, D.C. She has told her story to the Star Ledger and dozens of her media outlets. She even confronted Wells Fargo CEO John Staff at the Wells Fargo shareholder meeting in 2014. She has fought for her home in court. She has fought for her home online. She has fought for her home in the street. All she has to show for it is a mortgage modification that increase her monthly mortgage payment every time her mortgage monthly payment is increasing. So I just want you to do something about Wells Fargo, because it has to be accounted for every most of the foreclosures in here in Newark. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak? Thank you so much. And you said you're from New Jersey Communities United? Okay, we will respond to you in writing, and thank you for your courage to come forward to the microphone and speak about what you believe in this issue. As you know from the ordinance in which we adopted, we definitely hold these issues at heart as well for the people and the residents. So thank you so much for your courage. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak on any issue at all? I see Mr. Gray. Okay, on the resolution for Boko Haram, is there anyone wishing to speak? Yes, I know that. I saw you in the elevator, so I did not want to skip this over without providing you the opportunity.
That's what we call a leading question in the business.
Yes. Please come forward and state your name and affiliation for the record.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so happy to be here tonight. My name is Reverend Samuel Ayenin. Okay. Reverend Samuel Ayenin of 145 Goodwin Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. I'm here to talk briefly about Boko Haram and the horrendous violence going on in Nigeria. There, if you recall, 2 weeks ago, Boko Haram killed over 86 people, and they burned children alive. And this has been going on for past some years right now. I know that the government of the United States, they are trying to help, but also there is more that could be done to put an end to the violence being perpetrated by these extremists in the country. They are not only killing Christians, they are killing the Muslims as well. So it's not just a Nigerian thing, it's becoming a regional problem. And it's affecting most of us that are living here in the Essex County. Most of our people, we live, we worship, and we work here. And it's a very traumatic experience for us. So I want you to support the resolution and continue to do what you are doing for us. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members wishing to speak at this time? And please come forward and state your name and affiliation. You'll have 3 minutes to speak, monitored by the clock to my right.
My name is Pastor Dr. Femi Adegbomire.
Can you speak a little louder?
Okay, my name is Pastor Dr. Femi Adegbomire of 254B Camden Street in Newark, New Jersey. I have my family here. I'm affiliated with the ministry here and a member of the Nigerian faith-based community organization in the U.S. here, where we look after the interests of our people. The situation with Boko Haram is affecting all of us in the sense that we have families back there. Many of our children are not able to travel home to experience the African home, to visit their grandparents, their relatives back there because of the situation going on there. Many of us are interested in enhancing our activities here by virtue of how we have families there, and the families are not able to do their normal business. There's insecurity, there's all kinds of things. But beyond that, this is no longer a Nigerian issue. It's gone beyond that because it's affecting Cameroon, Niger, and a lot of the region surrounding Nigeria. The northern part of Nigeria has been affected by this. There was a time they Bring Our Girls Back took a whole viral But you find that this has died. Nobody is doing anything about it. We're not hearing much about it anymore. The hashtag was all over the place a couple of years ago. It's over 2 years now, and nothing has been done about it. If anything is being done, we're not aware of it. So we want to support whatever resolution is being made, whatever effort is being made. We want to let this council know that we're here to support you, to work with you, and anything we can do to make sure that the voice of our residents here who have been affected are heard, and the government government of Nigeria is also supported to see an end to this. We're here to support, and we're here to let you know that our members of our churches, members of our community, who are taxpayers, who are residents here, our children are in school here, we educate, we do all those things here. I've been here for over 40 years. And we want to make a voice. I want to make sure that this august body is able to support us and carry us to Washington, to United Nations, anywhere it takes. We will be here to back all the resolution of. God bless this august body. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record.
Victoria Ayeni, also of the Nigerian faith-based organization here. I'm here to speak just to appeal to you. Whatever you can do to help Nigeria will be so much appreciated. We have so many of our families dying there. You know, we have children that are being misplaced. We have families being misplaced. As a matter of fact, we had one of our church members that the son-in-law was chopped into pieces in front of the wife. So we might look at it right now today as a problem that is only going on in Western African region, but if care is not taken, I believe it's going to go further than where it is right now. So please, whatever this body can do for Nigeria, we're not just doing it for Nigeria, we're not just doing it for Chad, we're not just doing it for areas around Nigeria, but we're also doing it for the whole world. We need help, and we pray, we ask that you please help us.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Okay, Madam Clerk, let the record reflect that there was no one else wishing to speak at this time. Do we have any ordinances or resolutions for introduction and first reading?
Madam President, we have one. Ordinance 1, refunding bond ordinance providing for the refunding of certain general obligation bonds of the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $520,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 52. Okay. 52 million. There was a zero missing in the first one. Issuance of 52 million bonds and notes for the county for financing thereof.
Okay. Mr. Chilala?
Yes, if I could call upon Mr. Acker, our treasurer, to explain this ordinance.
Thank you, Ralph. Good evening, Madam President, Freeholders. Firstly, on behalf of the administration, I'd like to thank you for considering this as a late starter.
And Mr. Acker, can you state your name and affiliation for the record?
Certainly. Mark Acker, I'm the Director of Department of Administration and Finance / County Treasurer. With the recent changes in interest rates, the yield curve is more favorable, and that's presented the county with an opportunity to refund 3 prior outstanding issues and save approximately a little under $1.8 million over the next 10 years. This ordinance would allow us to start that process and in 2 weeks adopt the ordinance, at which time we could then begin the process to sell the bonds. We're looking to retire $44,010,000 in outstanding bonds in those 3 prior issues. And again, we would be receiving, at today's estimation, a little under $1.8 million in savings.
Thank you. Mr. Palavecchio?
I don't have any questions.
Mr. McInerney?
The 1.8 million, is that present value savings or is that actual dollars?
I believe it's present value.
Okay, all right. And that's, as I discussed with you earlier, there's no change in the term of these bonds. So these bonds will be paid off at the same time under the new debt structure that they would have been paid off under the old debt structure.
Correct, and that is net present value savings. And as you're aware, Mr. McInerney, the legislation was passed several years ago where we can go forward without having to go to local finance board on refundings as long as we meet several criteria. It's all very conservative. We've met all the criteria which will allow us to go forward without going to Trenton, which is another 2-month process. At the conclusion of the sale, we will just report to Trenton exactly what we accomplished, and we will have saved, again, at today's estimate, a little under $1.8 million.
Right, and actually the present value savings is actually higher than the required amount, correct? It's about 4%.
It's a little over 4%. They require a minimum of 3%.
Correct. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Acker.
Freeholders? Do you have any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion and a second to introduce this ordinance?
Move it.
Moved by Freeholder Richardson. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Freeholder Johnson. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Bobadilla. Yes. Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have any ordinances or resolutions for listing purposes only?
Madam President, we do. We have 2.
Recognizing Freeholder Rufus Johnson is with us.
Ordinance number O 2016-0004, ordinance to rename the Essex County Division on Welfare to the Essex County Division of Family Assistance and Benefits. Ordinance 2, ordinance number O 2016-0005, ordinance to rename the Essex County Workforce Investment Board to the Essex County Workforce Development Board.
Okay, Madam Clerk, you can list ordinance O 2016-000004 and O 2016-000005 for public hearing on our February 17th meeting. Do we have ordinances, or do we have any ordinances on second reading and public hearing?
Madam President, we do. 1, ordinance number O 2016-0003, ordinance of the County of Essex, New Jersey, securing the Essex County Improvement Authority not to exceed $8,250,000 project consolidation revenue refunding bond series 2016 refunding project for the purpose of providing additional security therefore and determining certain other matters in connection therewith.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's move to public hearing for this ordinance, O 2016-00002. I hereby declare the public hearing open. If there are any member of the public who would like to comment for or against this ordinance, please come forward, state your name and affiliation, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak, monitored by the clock to my right. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect there's no member wishing to speak at this time. Mr. Polavecchio?
No, just to recall that this ordinance was introduced back in mid-January, at which time there was a fairly ample discussion about these bonds and how they are calculated towards our overall borrowing for the year.
Thank you, Mr. McInerney.
No questions.
Freeholders, do you have any questions or comments? Okay, freeholders, do I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing on ordinance O 2016-00002? Moved by Freeholder Toro.
I'll second.
Second by Freeholder Luciano. Do I have the same mover and a second to approve the ordinance?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
It's not 2. That's 3.
It's three.
So
It's three.
I hereby declare the public hearing on ordinance O-2016-00003 open. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Not hearing any. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect there's no one wishing to speak at this time. Mr. Polavecchio, no questions. Mr. McInerney, no questions. Freeholders, no questions. Does the motion still stand?
Yes.
From Freeholder Toro and Freeholder Luciano to close the public hearing on O-2016-00003. And the same mover and second still stand to approve this ordinance. Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla. Yes. Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel.
Yes.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. Now we're going to take the meeting out of order, as I want to be respectful of those who are sitting before us. And we're going to move to resolution number 48. Madam Clerk, can you please read?
Okay.
48 or 38? 38.
38 through 47.
We're going to move to resolution number 48, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Oh, I see. Resolution 48, supporting the efforts to bring an end to the violence perpetrated by Boko Haram, sponsored by acclamation.
Okay. Mr. Polavecchio?
I have no comments. If
Mr.
you'd
Ma-
like me to have some.
Mr. McInerney?
I have no comment.
Freeholders, do you have any comments, any questions or comments? Freeholder Richardson?
I just want to say, I wholeheartedly support you in this effort to stop this violence against women and children. It's horrific. We hear about all these other violent situations going on in different parts of the world, and here in Africa, it's pretty much put on the back burner. So we need to shed light on it and keep it in the forefront. So I wholeheartedly support it, and everything I can do to keep it in the media and out front, you can count on me for that.
Freeholders? Freeholder Jones?
I too agree with Freeholder Richardson, as he stated that the violence that is going on in Nigeria has appeared to be on the back burner. This should be a human problem that the world should confront when you're dealing with human lives. And I support it 100%, and if anything this board can do besides a resolution, I'd be willing to support it. Thank you.
Freeholder Siebold?
Thank you. I'm very pleased that we are all supporting this by acclamation, which means that every single one of the freeholders is firmly in support of this resolution, and anything we can do as a body to help would be wonderful. Thank you.
Freeholder Toro?
I mean, it's just horrific what's going on in Nigeria. You know, when they abducted the 270 girls from the school, that was very widely covered here in the United States. But since then, I haven't heard much, and it's not until now that I read the resolution that I hear that some girls return home, but some are still missing, and there's even further killings and massacres. Something has to be done, and I just commend Congressman Payne for bringing this to light. And the board also requested that a copy of this resolution be sent to most, if not all, elected officials throughout the state, so that there is more awareness. At least in New Jersey, we're doing our part to the best we can.
Thank you. Freeholders? Well, you know, something had come to my attention regarding the atrocities that were happening in Nigeria, and reading through the information and seeing what was occurring. You know, this board has been in the front of a lot of issues on the home front, domestic issues. You have, you know, Freeholder Bobadilla working on different things under his ICE and his CIS committee. You know, you have Freeholder Brendan Gill in his gun ordinance. There's just so many things that this board is doing here on the home front, and even, you know, what we did with the banks, and everybody has been working very hard on things. And I thought, well, we're a freeholder board. What can we really do about international issues? And from speaking with our congressman, and I see Mr. Michael Gray in the audience with us today from the Congressman's office. Congressman Payne Sr. was called Mr. Africa. He did a lot of work in Africa and spent some time overseas, you know, on injustices and things. And Congressman Payne Jr. also has is carrying that same type of mantle and has been in Congress bringing issues of Boko Haram up in his Homeland Security Committee. So I just thought, I said, well, if all we can do is show public support and local support behind our elected congressmen for, you know, raising this issue, then if that's the only power that we have, then that's what we can do. So, you know, I'm going to, in addition to this resolution, there is a roundtable and a press conference that is going to be scheduled for Tuesday. Every freeholder should have received the information, and it's with local groups to talk about the issue, as well as for our congressman to drive support for what he's trying to do to end the genocide. I second everything all of my colleagues have said here today. You know, if we can pay attention to things throughout the whole world, we can also pay attention to and more into the atrocities at the hands of Boko Haram, of anyone who opposes them, men, women, and children. So with that said, I'd like to move this resolution. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Freeholder Jones. Madam Clerk?
Freeholder Bobadilla?
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill?
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Freeholder Jones?
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson?
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel?
Yes.
Freeholder Toro?
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake?
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move to resolution number 38. And thank you, the groups that have come out. Please read.
Okay. Resolution 38, Department of Corrections Professional Services Agreement to provide inpatient and outpatient hospital services for inmates February 10th, 2016 through February 9th, 2017. East Orange General, amount not to exceed $1,800,000.
Can you please also read resolutions 39 through 47?
Resolution 39, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the Township of Bloomfield, County of Essex, for a traffic signal at the intersections of Broad Street, Pitt Street, and Broad Street, Baldwin Street, $142,120. Resolution 40, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the State of New Jersey, Governor Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse for alcoholism and drug abuse, $815,833. Resolution 41, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey for Domestic Violence Assessment Center program income, $1,425. Resolution 42, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the State of New Jersey Office of the Attorney General, Division of Criminal Justice for Body Armor Replacement Fund Program, Office of the Sheriff's, $35,608. Resolution 43, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the State of New Jersey, Office of the Attorney General of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor for Insurance Fraud Reimbursement Program, $250,000. Resolution 44, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the State of New Jersey, Department of Community Affairs for Community Services Block Grant, $316,518. Resolution 45, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from New Jersey Share Incorporated for New Jersey Share Program income, $2,150. Resolution 46, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the Office of Attorney General, Juvenile Justice Commission for CY 2016, calendar year 2016, comprehensive county funding allocation, $1,565,806. Resolution 47, 2016 temporary emergency appropriation from the General Education Testing Center for General Education Development, Testing Center Program, Department of Economic Development, Training and Employment, $13,702.
Thank you. Mr. Chalala, can you please explain the resolution, starting with the first and then the rest of the temporary emergency appropriations?
Yes, Resolution 38 is a contract extension for professional services with East Orange General Hospital. East Orange General Hospital serves as our lock unit for both inpatient, outpatient services for our inmates at our correctional facility. They also provide for lock units for Hudson County, Union, Passaic, and Monmouth County under the county's partnership. We do have the Director, Al Ortiz, with us, as well as Mr. Lanza, the CFO of East Orange General Hospital.
Good evening, Madam President. Alfaro Ortiz, Jr., Director, Essex County Jail. I'm here this evening to support the passing of this contract. We enjoy for more than 10 years a great relationship with the East Orange General Hospital, where they provide the medical and professional services, both medical and psychiatric and psychological services that are required of those under our care and custody. So with that, I will, unless you have any questions for me, I'll turn it over to Mr. Lanza, the CEO.
Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank this body for considering this proposal in front of you. East Orange.
Can you please state your name and affiliation for the record?
Nicholas Lanza, Chief Financial Officer, East Orange General Hospital. I'd like to thank this body for considering this proposal. We've enjoyed a wonderful partnership with the county for 10 years in providing this service. We've been pleased to do so. We hope the county is as pleased in our performance, and we look forward to continuing this partnership with the county.
Thank you. Mr. Polavecchio?
No questions.
Mr. McInerney?
No questions.
Freeholders? Any questions? I just wanted to know, I know that there's an acquisition that has occurred of East Orange General. How does the acquisition affect this contract? Could it potentially affect it?
No, Madam President. The purchase transaction is still pending. We're actually anticipating the financial closing of the transaction imminently, and all services as they currently are structured at East Orange will continue as a result of the sale.
Okay. Thank you. Freeholders? Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Chalala?
Resolution 39, revenue the county is receiving from the Township of Bloomfield for a power-coded traffic signal at the intersection of Broad and Pine Street and Baldwin Street. The insertion of funds will pay for this traffic signal, and the county will install. Resolution 40 is a grant from the Drug Abuse and Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Division of Community Health for $815,833. This is to help continue to coordinate our drug and alcohol prevention activities throughout Essex County. Resolution 41, a grant from the State of New Jersey Division of Community Health Services. These are fees that are collected from offenders that are referred to our Domestic Violence Assessment Center. These were the fees that were collected in 2015. Resolution 42, a grant for body armor replacement for the Sheriff's Department. These are replacement body vests. There is a useful life of 5 years per vest, and this is part of our replenishment program. 43 is a reimbursement program for insurance fraud. This grant goes to the prosecutor's office. These funds will be used to augment as well as enhance the investigation, prosecution of persons committing insurance fraud, especially medical insurance fraud, as well as automobile insurance fraud. This helps to offset the salary and fringe. It is the same dollar contract or a grant from last year. Resolution 44, a grant from the Division of Community Action for impoverished low-income residents of East Orange, Irvington, Orange, Bloomfield, Montclair, and Belleville. Provide for housing assistance, emergency assistance, food, youth services. Resolution 45, a grant from the Division of Community Action. This is, the county receives roughly $20 from each application from the state for clients who apply for New Jersey Share Program. Resolution 46, a grant from the Division of Youth Services. These are funds that are used for juvenile services for at-risk youth. Resolution 47, a grant program income from our Department of Employment and Training. These are the funds that we collect when individuals take the TABE test as well as the re-exam test. These are the fees that are collected and they are put back into the budget.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Polavecchio?
No question.
Mr. McInerney?
No questions.
Freeholders? Okay. Do I have a mover and a second to take resolutions 38 to 47 together? Is there a movement?
I'll move it.
Moved by Freeholder Johnson,
Second.
second by Freeholder Bobadilla. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel.
Yes.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Please move to resolutions number 49 and 50.
Resolution 49, resolution to exceed the county tax levy and to establish a cap bank for calendar year 2016 per NJSA 40A:4-45.14.
50.
Resolution 50, introduction of the 2016 Essex County budget.
Mr. Chilella?
Yes, Madam President, if I could call Mr. Acker up to explain both 49 and 50 for the board. Mr. Acker?
Thank you, Ralph. Excuse me again, Mark Acker, Director of Department of Administration and Finance. The cap bank resolution would allow the county to preserve for the next 2 years that part of our budget process that we didn't use, and that's the cap bank for 2016, which is a little in excess of $10 million. Again, by taking this positive action, we would quote unquote bank that for 2 years, and to the extent we would need that in either 2017 or 2018, we would have that available. By not doing this, we would not have that available. So you're just keeping your options available going forward. Again, it's a little in excess of $10 million. It's formula driven. The cap that we're under this year is actually 0. We're allowed to take it to 3.5%, and to the extent we don't use it, we're allowed to bank it, and that's what this resolution would allow us to do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Acker. Mr. Polavecchio, you have any questions or comments?
No, I do not.
Mr. McInerney?
Yes, this, again, so I understand, this is just the authorization. At some point in time, if the need was to raise taxes above the cap, that we could tap into this bank. It's just the authorization to raise taxes above the cap.
Freeholder Toro?
I'm sorry, this is just more clarification. So what you're saying is that if we ever had a need to raise taxes above the cap, we can tap into these funds and therefore it wouldn't come out of taxpayer?
No, that's why it's strictly the authorization to raise taxes above. It gives you the ability to raise taxes. It's
If
not,
we
there's
ever
no
had
additional
to.
funds sitting anywhere. It's just a memo account really that says you have this ability, this authorization to raise taxes above the cap.
And have we done this before?
I'm sure in our history, we might have, I don't know if we did this before. I don't think I recall using the bank cap since the tax limit cap went into effect.
We never used it.
But it's there, and it's just prudent to put it in place. Again, our tax increases have been under 2%.
Right.
So,
And for the record, if we ever did, it would still come before this body for a vote.
yes, sure.
Just ask one question.
Mr. Polavecchio?
But just to clarify, Mr. McInerney, we do this procedure of passing the resolution to establish the cap bank. That's something we do regularly, although we may not actually
No,
exercise it.
we do we do it every year.
Right.
But I thought the question was, did we ever tap into the
Right.
the additional authorization? And the answer to that is not to my recollection.
Right, I think you're right, that was the question. I just wanted to distinguish the two.
Great,
Freeholders? Okay, do I have a mover and a second to take Resolution 49?
I'll move it.
Moved by Freeholder Sebo,
Second.
second by Freeholder Richardson. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Toro.
Yes.
Freeholder Sebo.
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Jones.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Resolution number 50?
Introduction of the 2016 Essex County budget.
Again, Madam President, Mark Acker, Director of Department of Administration and Finance. The budget that's presented before the board this evening totals $769,140,000. As excuse me, as the board's fully aware, the county executive presented his budget, which was $760,785,000 to the freeholders back on January 11th, I believe. Subsequently, this body held several publicly advertised and public budget sessions on the budget. Since that time, again, it's changed up to $769,140,000. Excuse me. Primarily attributed to new grants. So it didn't, those new grants, although they changed the total dollar amount of the budget, did not affect taxes at all. The tax levy is 1.9% over 2015. And again, the grants were equal amounts on revenue and budget. And that changed from the time when the county executive presented his budget. But again, this budget, $769,140,000. The tax increase is 1.9% over last year. And if you have any questions, certainly I can answer.
Thank you. Mr. Polavecchio?
Just so everyone's clear, this is, as stated, the introduction, and there will be a public hearing at a later date in 30 days?
March 9th.
March 9th, okay. And that's when it will be, after all this time. One is, today is approval or adoption. The final is, because it's reverse, I think.
This is introduction / approval.
Approval, right.
And March 9th will be the public hearing and
adoption.
Subsequent adoption.
Got it. Thank you.
Mr. McInerney?
Yeah, the word approval has always been very
Right.
confusing to people because the budget is yet to be adopted. We'll go, from here, the budget will be publicly advertised, and a public hearing will take place, which the public is invited to come and speak on the budget. If there's any amendments at that point in time to the budget, then they will be approved by the board at that point in time. And then right after the public hearing and after the adoption, after the approval of any amendments, we can adopt the budget.
Thank you, Mr. McInerney. Freeholders, are there any questions or comments regarding the budget? Freeholder Johnson?
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, Madam President, I'd like to pose this question to our budget analyst. So, for instance, if we wanted to make some changes in some of the things in the budget, we have time now to do it now before that time comes.
You do, depending upon the size of those, there's three parameters that are used to determine whether or not your change requires an amendment to the budget. Okay. All right, so one of them is 1% of total appropriations change. Your change is greater than 1% of total appropriations. The other one is greater or less than 10% of a single item. And the third is greater, I think it's, yeah, I got it here, it's 5% of the tax levy increase, goes up 5%, requires that. So any one of those would require an amendment. Okay. All right, anything under that would not.
Freeholders, any other questions or comments regarding the budget? Do I have a mover and a second?
I'll move it.
Moved by Freeholder Luciano.
I'll second.
Second by Freeholder Johnson. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla?
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill?
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Freeholder Jones?
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson?
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel?
Yes.
Freeholder Toro?
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake?
Yes.
So moved. Be it resolved that the following statement of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the county budget for the year 2016. Be it further resolved that the said budget be published in the Star Ledger in the issue of February 18th, 2016. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Essex does hereby approve the following budget for the year 2016. Notice is hereby given that the budget and tax resolution was approved by the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Essex County on February 10th, 2016. A hearing on the budget and tax resolution will be held at City of East Orange Town Hall, 44 City Hall Plaza on March 9th, 2016 at 7:00 p.m., at which time and place objections to said budget and tax resolution for the year 2016 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested persons.
Thank you. Resolutions 1 through 14 were read into the record.
Yes.
Okay, they were read into the record last week, and you can read
Yes.
them into the record at a later time. Freeholders, resolutions 1 through 14. Resolution number 4, Freeholder Jones asked what the number of people evaluated from different departments for the last 2 years and the types of evaluation were, and the response was received? Thank you. Resolutions number 6 and 7, Freeholder Luciano asked, can the notice of the bridge project be advertised on different municipalities? Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Did you receive your
I did
response?
receive the response. I was very happy. Thank you, Mr. Chila. Just moving forward, if there is any, I mean, I know it's not really like a groundbreaking, but any kind of press or communication with the municipality, if I could just be included, please. Thank you. And that's for West Cole, I'm sorry, my district. I know we're also talking about Bloomfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Freeholder Toro asked, how is the money distributed between municipalities for the bridge project? Freeholder Toro, did you receive? Okay.
Yes, I did. Thank you. I just needed that clarification, and I got it.
Okay. Mr. Polavecchio, did you have any questions regarding these resolutions in which we discussed?
No additional questions to those from last week.
Okay. Freeholders? Mr. McInerney? Any additional questions to what we discussed last week regarding resolutions 1 through 14? Do I have a mover and a second to take 1 through 14? Moved by Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Second.
Second by Freeholder Toro. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Toro?
Yes.
Freeholder Siebel?
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson?
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Freeholder Jones?
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill?
Yes.
Freeholder Bobadilla?
Yes, to all except 11, present not voting on number 11.
Present not voting. President Timberlake.
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Please move to Resolution 36 and 37.
Resolution 36, Clerk of the Board of Freeholders, appointment Deborah Davis Ford. Resolution 37, commendation honoring Marjorie Brevard upon her retirement from the office of Essex County Council, sponsored by acclamation. Yes.
Mr. Polavecchio?
Well, I could comment on number 36, but I think that might be a little tacky, so. But I do enjoy working with my partner, our clerk, Deborah Davis Ford. That's all I have to say on that.
Okay.
Just a little editorialization.
I don't think it'd be tacky at all. Mr. McInerney?
No questions.
Freeholders. Freeholder Seabolt?
Thank you. Deborah Davis Ford does a wonderful, wonderful job as clerk to the Board of Freeholders, and I am so pleased that this resolution is on the agenda tonight, and I am very proud to support this resolution for a wonderful, wonderful clerk.
Three wonderful. Triple wonderful, Deborah. Are there any other questions or comments? Freeholder Jones?
I too would like to congratulate the freeholders for the reappointment of Ms. Ford as our clerk. She's excellent, a very professional lady, and I enjoy working with her, and she's full of information. Keep up the good work.
Freeholders? Is that your hand?
I'll keep it quick, thumbs up.
Okay, okay. I didn't know what that was.
Sorry, that was just a.
We all agree.
So
We
you got
agree.
You have a thumbs up for Freeholder Vice President
I
Gill.
won't cut any of my other
Freeholder
colleagues off,
Richardson. Triple wonderful by Freeholder Seabolt, and a hand up by Freeholder Bobadilla. Freeholder Bobadilla?
Congratulations, 3 times over. It's not wonderful, but it's congratulations.
Not wonderful.
Not wonderful, but congratulations.
Freeholder Toro?
Congratulations, Clerk Deborah Davis Ford. I know this was a different year. You had 4 new members on the Freeholder Board, so you know it just shows that you had to be very flexible and teach a lot of us the ropes. So thank you for that.
Freeholders? Freeholder Richardson?
I asked you a lot of questions in my first year. Look for double questions my second year. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Freeholders?
Yes,
Freeholder Johnson?
congratulations, Deborah. Well, job well done. Job well done.
Freeholders? Freeholder Luciano?
I just, yes, also want to echo the sentiments of the entire board. Thanks for holding down the office and the entire staff.
Freeholders? Well, Deborah, thank you. You know, you onboarded 4 new freeholders last year, and that was a lot. And you also onboarded me as a newly elected government official, but also a first time being president. And without you teaching me and showing me different things about the functionality of the office and the position, it would have been extremely difficult for me to succeed. So I thank you very much for being there to help me through and for onboarding us all, but also being there to support those who are veterans on the board.
I want to say thank you to everyone.
Any other questions or comments?
3 times over.
3 times? 3 times over. Thank you to everyone. And you're wonderful. I need to let you know that, Deborah. Do I have a mover and a second?
I'll move it.
Moved by Freeholder Seabolt, second by Freeholder Jones. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Bobadilla?
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Gill?
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Freeholder Jones?
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Freeholder Richardson?
Yes.
Freeholder Seabolt?
Yes.
Freeholder Toro?
Yes.
Freeholder President Timberlake?
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have any report of board committee?
We have to vote on
I thought we took it together.
We took it together?
We took it
Okay.
together. 36 and 37. Do we have any report of board committees? Do we have any legislative reports? Do we have any written communication? Any unfinished business? Any new business to discuss? Okay, moving to public comment session. If there's any member of the public wishing to speak at this time, please come forward, state your name and affiliation for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak, monitored by the clock to my right. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one is wishing to speak at this time. It's now freeholder comment session. Last freeholder comment session, Freeholder Richardson asked how much is in the depository of Wells Fargo Bank. The response was sent out. Did you receive it, Freeholder Richardson?
I absolutely did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Freeholders, any comments on anything at all? I thank you all for your support. You all prove time and time again to be such a progressive board, and I always tell you that I'm proud. So I look forward to seeing, you know, as many of you as possible that can come to the press conference to support our congressman regarding the fight against the genocide of Boko Haram. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Move it.